Hello everyone, welcome to today's Vision 6 Power Session. Capture more contact data with hidden form fields. My name's Andy, I'm the product trainer here at Vision 6 in Brisbane. I'll be taking you through today's Power Session. So hiding form fields, or just hiding fields in general, what does this allow us to do? Well, it means you can track things like campaign codes, submit additional data with a form submission, and also hard code certain values into the form. So in today's example, we've got this little newsletter sign up form here as shown on the left-hand side. And on there, we've got a couple of fields: first name, email address, and dietary. But let's just say that our users are able to sign up to this from our website, and we've got a little campaign code in the URL that we wish to submit with this form, because that way we'll be able to know if this person came through, say, a Google ad, a Facebook ad, social media, some other kind of variable that we want to capture when they fill in this form. We don't want the user to necessarily see this or be able to change it, but we do want to pass it into Vision 6 when the form is typed in or submitted by the contact. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little code, campaign code field, as well as a state field. Again, with that example there with the state field, we might have different pages on our website, one for each state where we have stores in the case of XYZ Donuts. And what we can do is get the system to automatically pass the state field value when the form is submitted as a hidden field. So again, rather than let the user change that, we'll have it submitted based on where they came through on our website. So these kind of things is great little added functionality. And in this case, we're passing two values or two hidden values when the form is submitted, but you could do more. I'm not aware that there is a limit, although, see how you go. But in this case, we've just got the two. If it's just one, that's okay as well. And often we'll just see people use a campaign code or UTM tracking links if you're using Google for your tracking links and that kind of thing. So in this case, we'll try the two and do that for you today in the demo. In order to make this happen, what things do we need? Well, firstly, we'll need a list with the relevant fields, because what the form is doing, of course, with Vision 6 forms, our forms are attached to lists, and you'll need to have fields available on those lists which store the information that we're passing. So we're going to need a campaign code field in our case of our example, and we're going to need a state field as well, again, in the case of our example. So we'll need the fields on the list. We'll need a form, of course. And then a couple of extra things to make it all happen is that we'll need the form link, the field names, and the data to hard code within the hidden fields. So let's take a look at how this works. So first, I'm going to show you the form itself. So I'll go into lists and forms, and then I'll go into my list here, which is this one here. Here's the exact same one we saw from the screenshot. And again, all it is just a simple Vision 6 form with a first name, email, and dietary field. First name and email are required fields. Dietary is an optional field. Now, this form itself is just a normal Vision 6 subscribe form. There's nothing hidden on this form. There's no code. All the work of actually passing the values in secret behind the scenes is actually done through the URL. So there's nothing we need to do here on the form whatsoever. So that's actually great. You can just use this on your normal forms. Next, we'll go back and view the fields inside the list to make sure that we have the fields that we need. So I'll come into here and we'll go and view contacts. I've got all my contacts here, but the things we need to make sure that we have for the hidden fields is a state field and a campaign code field. The first name, dietary, and email address, these fields are already on the form, so they must exist, because with Vision 6, you can't add fields to a form if they don't exist. So the three fields that we already saw, email, first name, and dietary, must be already there, and they are. There's email, there's first name, and there's dietary. So there's our three fields that we have visible on the form. So they're covered. It's the two extra hidden fields that we need to have a look at. Now, I've got a state field, so that's great. I can automatically deal with that. Now, if I were to just do the state hidden form field, that would work fine because I've got a field to put that data in. But if I scroll across, I don't have a campaign code field anywhere. So that's okay. We can go and make one. So there's two places you can make fields. You can go into spreadsheet view here and add it, or you can go back to your form, add the new field there, and then just make sure you remove it from the form because we don't want the user again to see it or change it. It's a hidden field that we're submitting through the URL directly to the form. So again, it doesn't really matter where you create the field. You can do it in either place. I'm going to make it here in spreadsheet view because that way I don't have to go to my form to remove it. So there's an extra step that's taken out there. So I'll go into spreadsheet view and I want to add a new field. You've got different types of fields you can choose from. I'm going to just do it as a normal text field. And I'm going to call it campaign code like that and save. So now we have a new campaign code field with nothing in it. So if I return to my list view, go right to the end, there's my campaign code field. Now, just to make it easier to find in future, I'm going to move it up to the front. So I'll go into my little table settings here, the cog, find the campaign code, grab the little gripper on the right-hand side and drag it towards the front of the view after state and apply. So now it's easy to see on this screen. There it is there. I've just moved the order of it in the columns. That's an optional thing. It just means I can find it because I've got lots of fields on this list, as you can see, everything from phone number to stores and whatnot. So by moving it here, I can see the information that I need to see at a quick glance. So that's all I did there. That's optional. Cool, fantastic. Okay, so now I've got my form already made. It has the 3 fields on it that I need the user to enter: email, first name, dietary. And although these fields aren't on the form, I'm going to be submitting them via secret hidden fields. And that is the state and the campaign code field. So the key thing I need to do here is just make sure they exist, because if they don't exist in Vision 6 and I'm trying to submit information into them, the information that I'm trying to submit will be lost. So all the other information they put in, like the email and name and stuff, that will get saved. But if I don't make a field to store the information in that I'm trying to push into Vision 6, it will just disappear. So that's the key thing there. I've got the 2 fields now that I need. Excellent. So the last step of this now is to go to the form itself here, click Add Form to Website, and I'm going to grab this code here, the URL, like so. And if I visit this in a new browser window, like so, you'll see at the top of the screen, if I go that now, or if I go to that now, we've just got the form here, and I can fill it in, and that would be that. But there's no hidden fields because I haven't put them into the URL. So the way we do that is we put in an ampersand and then type in the name of the field equals and what data we would like to pass. So let's go with Victoria or Vic. So if I were to just now fill in this form with the URL like that, it would put in any information we enter, plus it would hard code the state as Victoria. But what I'm also going to do is the campaign code. So I'll go another and campaign underscore code equals, and we'll just go Google Ads or whatever campaign code you want to use. Cool. So now when someone fills in this form, it'll of course save the information they enter here, but it will also behind the scenes put in a Vic value into the state field, and it will put a Google Ads value into the campaign code field. Now you might notice that here in Vision 6, the campaign code is just spelt campaign space code. But when you're submitting things via a URL, you need to put an underscore in there, otherwise, because with the space bar, it doesn't know what to do and that will break. So we just put in the underscore, replaces the space bar. The same is true if you use wildcards in Vision 6. The exact same thing, you've always got to put the underscore in to replace the space bar. So now if I visit this link, so I just made sure I press enter to visit this link, I can now put in the first name as Vision 6 Powersession. The email, I'll just put test@vision6.com.au. I'll set myself as gluten-free and subscribe. Cool. Now if I go back to my contacts list, we should have a new person on the list. Yes, there's the email, there's the first name, there's the dietary. So these were all submitted. These were visible on the form and the user, me, selected these. But look, here's the 2 hidden fields, Victoria and Google Ads. So even though the user didn't put that information in, we didn't request it, it still got submitted with their form submission because They were hidden fields we were passing via URL parameters. So with this is how you can get that extra information into your Vision 6 contact signups in subscribe forms or update profile forms, that kind of thing, through putting them in the URL. And that's the great thing about this, is that you've got that extra information, the extra data you can pass in through the system without getting the user to do it. And a good example, the most common example we see this used for, is submitting campaign code data. So from a marketing point of view and your reporting point of view, you know how people are finding your website, and then filling in the subscribe form and taking that next step to become a lead or to become a contact on your list. So it's all about knowing how your marketing campaigns are working, where people are coming from, that full reporting and transparency of the data, because it's all good to get new contacts and leads, but if you don't know where they're coming from, then you've got some issues there about potentially knowing where your spend is working best and that kind of thing. So of course, with this, it means we can very easily do that and get that data and complete that marketing picture. Now, if you'd like to try this for yourself, of course, you've got the Powersession recording, which you can watch back. But we do have at this little link here a how-to guide, which will actually, if you visit that link, it'll open up this page here. And it shows you pretty much the same thing. It shows you the form, and then you've got there the special URL parameters. So remembering there to put ampersand, field name equals, and then the hard-coded data. And if you have more than one, again, ampersand, field name equals, and then the data you'd like to pass within the field. This is sort of standard code type stuff, and you'll see that Vision 6 is actually doing this already in the URL. So all Vision 6 forms and things that you do within the platform have this stuff in there anyway. We're just essentially adding to it with our own fields. So that's a great little way there. There is some advanced information as well as the reminder to put in the underscore in place of the spacebar if you have any fields with spaces in them. And there we go. That brings us to the end of today's Vision 6 Powersession. Capture more contact data with hidden form fields. We hope you've enjoyed today's session. Don't forget to check out the how-to guide if you'd like to know more. My name's Andy from Vision 6. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.